Yes. So we are born into this world and we come as newborn babes. And then we go into what we call infancy. Then childhood. Then adolescence. And then, okay, so early adulthood. Because adulthood has, yeah, so you have the early adulthood and then middle and then late and then the ever after. Okay, so when we are born, there are certain things that we do naturally. So we have some reflexes that God gives us naturally to help us to survive. So as newborn babes, you have what you call the grasping, sucking, sneezing, blinking, crying reflexes, right? And as you progress in your development, there are things that are continued and there are things that are discontinued. So after a toddler, after an infant reaches to a certain stage, the grasping and the sucking is kind of discontinued somewhat, and they become more conscious of the actions and emotions. So as a newborn babe, a saint is brought into the church, you're baptized, and so there are things that you learn as you come, and as you grow, there are things that you would have been doing before, and as you grow, this continues. So that shows that you are developing and growing. So as saints, we have that same pattern. You're newborn and you grow and you continue and you discontinue. Now, as you grow, you reflect. You become more conscious of yourself. And your relationship with God is what helps us to become even more conscious of ourselves. And we do what we ought to do to become what God wants us to be. And so we drop off things, as I said. We discontinue certain things. So if we used to lie, we stop lying. And if we used to cheat, we stop cheating. And we grow. And we help each other to grow. I heard when Kingston was doing their presentation, St. Marshall in one of her scriptures, she said, position yourself to grow in God. And in growing, you develop psychologically, emotionally, and you have to allow yourself to grow. Sometimes when you pass through the different stages and you reach to adolescence, there are some persons who trap themselves in their minds to remain in a certain position. So you trap yourself to remain as an infant, or you trap yourself to remain as an adolescent. So even though you attain the age of adulthood, your actions and your thoughts are stuck in infancy. And you can do something about that. You have to think within yourself and allow yourself to grow mentally, emotionally. The physical you can do much about, except, taking care of yourself in terms of eating right and so on. But biologically, that's God's prerogative. But with Him, you can help your minds to grow. You let go of certain things and you allow yourselves to grow. And as we are under the theme Women Empowerment, we as women, sisters, we help each other to grow. And on another level, a little bit for the brothers, we expect in the development that when we reach to a certain stage, we're going to be taking on new responsibilities. So as women, we become wives and mothers, and the men become husbands and fathers. Now, we know that the man given by God is the head, the representative. And so I heard something recently that caused me to think. I don't know, let me just tell you and I hear what you have to think or say about it. You don't have to tell me now, just think about it. So I heard this saying that because the men are marginalizing themselves, we know what's going on in the world. The women have to assimilate and take on roles that they were not made for. Right? That's right. So the men are not leading as they should. I'm just saying. Not leading as they should. And they are not embracing their position as being the head and representatives of God. Now a man has to lead well so that we want to fight. Don't we, daughters? Amen. We want to follow. So on the part of us as women saying, so this is my concern, hearing that. I'm just hoping that as brothers in the church or men in the church, we or our men are training their minds to grow and to embracing being the head, being the leaders of the family, so that as women we can follow. And having your children under subjection, you know, all of those good things. And we set ourselves as women to be virtuous and not to take on the ways of the world, and to be what God wants us to be. I will say that I have observed some things, you know, coming up to this pastor. I thank God for taking me here. I've gone through my Red Seas. I really appreciated that sermon, and I've appreciated all the sermons and the testimonies that were given. But I've observed some things, and I'm thankful for the signs on the wall. You know, you shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary and the Lord. God said that. And as a daughter of Jerusalem and sister of mercy, I want my soul to be saved. I really do. And I believe that that's the reason that we are here. And sometimes we get a bit distracted, and sometimes we don't reverence the sanctuary of the Lord. I saw something on one of the days that I was not feeling well, and I happened to sit in the congregation, and it disturbed me. And I'm going to say it. I can't say who or what. I'm just going to say what I saw. So I saw someone, I won't say whether it was a male or female. I saw someone sitting in this sanctuary right throughout the service, watching a movie on a cell phone. And it disturbed my spirit. And that's why I chose to talk about continuity and discontinuity. As saints, we must allow ourselves to grow. And when we come to the mountain of the Lord's house, we must know that we are in the presence of God, and we are to respect and reverence the sanctuary of God. And it disturbed me so. I know that we have our shortcomings, right? I know. And that's something that we all have to remember. When we step into the mountain of the Lord's house, we have to remember that we are in the presence of God, and there are some things that we just do not do. There's so much to say. I think I've said enough at this point in time. So again, brothers, embrace your position as being the head, as God gave it, and allow yourselves to grow into your position so you can keep your family in subjection and allow us as daughters to follow. Wonderful, wonderful.
fourth day of the unbelievable and God bless you.
That's right.
I'm not an eloquent speaker. I just thank God for the church. The church of God and Saints of Christ that's been our strength for me. I also thank God for His grace, grace and His mercy. So, Church of God and Saints of Christ, Church of God and Saints of Christ, please pray for me.